Good morning, I'm George Pankinen, and I serve proudly as the mayor of City of Enid. It's my honor this morning to serve as Master of Ceremonies for this prestigious annual event. Welcome to all of our guests this morning, and I have a couple of special welcomes. I see Colonel Johnson and Chief Master Sergeant Smith here from Vance. Thank you, as always, joining into the things that are happening in our town, because you are part of our town, right? I'd like to also welcome, I see Senator and Mrs. Peterson here, Mayor France and Mayor Shuey are here, and some family members, and everybody, just welcome this morning. Thank you all for setting aside the time to join our newest inductees and their families for the Hall of Fame ceremony honoring the 2022 inductees today. Today's ceremony is especially noteworthy for two reasons. First, this is our 25th year of inducting our most giving citizens to the Walk of Fame. I don't know if anybody knew that, but this is the 25th year. Secondly, for the first time ever, both inductees are ladies. How about that? Have we come a long way in 25 years? I think so. At this time, if you're one of the 47 previously recognized Hall of Fame honorees, would you please stand or raise your hand so that we may recognize you? There we go. You can see their plaques proudly displayed downstairs in the hallway near the Grand Ballroom, and you can read their biographies at your leisure from the kiosk down there. A committee comprised of the mayor and two city commissioners selects two individuals to be added to the Walk of Fame each year. They are recognized as part of this Cherokee Strip celebration that we're doing today. One of the inductees is recognized for their lifelong contributions to our community before passing, and the other for the contributions they've made thus far in their lives. To be considered for the induction to the Wall of Fame, a person shall have a demonstrated lifetime service to the community in general, or have made an extraordinary contribution or act of selflessness or statesmanship for Enid. It's my honor this morning to formally announce our 2022 inductees to the Enid Walk of Fame. Our posthumous inductee for 2022 is Joan Allen. Accepting this award, yep. Accepting this award is Joan's husband of 61 years, Mr. Paul Allen. Paul was previously inducted into the Wall of Fame in 2000. It's a great comfort to me knowing that these two outstanding citizens, who both gave so generously of their time, their talent, and their treasure, will share the Walk of Fame with each other forever. Paul, can I ask you to come forward at this time? This will be really short. Okay. All right. Please allow me to read a proclamation in Joan's honor.
Okay.
Would you like to sit? If you're more comfortable sitting, you can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Whereas Joan Allen was not an Enid native, but was blessed the people of Enid with care and concern for many years. She was actually a Cornhusker born in Kearney, Nebraska, where she was raised with a classic Midwestern work ethic. She attended the University of Nebraska, where she received her bachelor's degree in food nutrition. And it was at the university that she met her husband, Paul. And whereas, while Paul was busy building Advanced Meat Company into what became Enid's largest private employer, Joan was taking care of the boys, helping with the Enid Symphony Orchestra, being involved with PEO, studying and obtaining a master's degree from OSU in dietary nutrition management, served as a dietitian at Enid Memorial in the 70s, and then became a pilot. Joan would fly the corporate plane and help deliver presentations all around the nation on behalf of Advanced Food Company. And whereas, few knew that Joan was once an inspiring violinist. Her love of music led her to becoming a staunch advocate of Enid Symphony Orchestra and serving as co-chair for the $3.2 million fundraising campaign to transform Enid's second Masonic temple into the Enid Symphony Center. Work began in 1997 and finished in 2002. Joan was an integral part of the fundraising and renovation, giving countless hours, using her talents as a seamstress and painter. She also served 2 terms as the Enid Symphony Association president, and in 2016 became president emeritus of the ESA. In March 2017, the Symphony Association named the main hall of Joan Allen Symphony Hall in her honor. As president and PEO, she helped raise thousands of dollars for scholarships to support aspiring educators. Whereas Joan also spent considerable time at David Allen Memorial Ballpark, which she and Paul helped build. It once was a decaying industrial area of downtown Enid. The ballpark, named after their son who died in 1995, is now regarded as one of the nation's premier amateur baseball facilities. What's unusual and significant is how Joan spent considerable time as well as money in investing and helping others. At the ballpark, she was a constant presence, developing interest in the players as individuals, and sharing her love for baseball and for life. Whereas she was instrumental in establishing the Allen Family Opportunity Scholarship Fund, as well as being a pillar of the Plains Honoree in 2007, and YWCA Woman of the Year in 2002. She was a longtime supporter and worker for Enid Habitat for Humanity, St. Matthew's Episcopal Church, Humphrey Heritage Village, and at the Cherokee Strip Regional Heritage Center, and many others. In 2018, she was honored with the Dick Lambert's Memorial Award, presented to a volunteer who has demonstrated significant community leadership and long-term support of the United Way. Now, therefore, I, George C. Pankin, and Mayor of the City of Enid, do hereby award posthumously to Joan Allen inclusion on the Enid Wall of Fame for 2022. In witness whereof, I have hereunder set my hand and caused the seal of City of Enid to be affixed the 17th day of September, 2021. Signed, George C. Pankin, Mayor of Enid.
Well, first of all, thank you for everybody. Thank you for Enid being such a good place. I don't hear very well, so I couldn't hear what all he said. I don't know whether he told you she was really smart. I'll just tell you how smart she was. Took her 3 years to get through college, and took me 5. So that was the difference between us. But I sure do appreciate. Wish she was here, but I really appreciate everything that Enid has done for us, and it's been a great place to live. Thank you very much.
We have both a proclamation and a special medallion that we have made. That's a Walk of Fame honoree medallion, so I'd like to present both of those to Paul. Our second inductee is also very well known to Enid community as a whole, but especially by our veteran population. While it is true that most great achievements are the result of team efforts, it is also true that every team needs a passionate leader, a leader like Elaine Johns. She tries to be the person behind the scenes getting things done, but I know, you all know, and especially the members of her team up front here know, she is the silent leader that's leading the team. Elaine, can I ask you to come forward at this time, and please allow me to read a proclamation in your honor. You can sit. Yep. All right. Whereas Elaine Johns was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, and adopted into an American military family at the age of 5, Johns and her family moved to the United States. where she would go on to graduate from high school in 1976 in Hennessy, Oklahoma. And whereas, shortly after graduation, Johns would marry her husband of 47 years, Eddie Johns. In the same year, she would be sworn in as an American citizen in Enid, Oklahoma. Elaine and Eddie moved to Drummond to raise their 3 children, Jennifer, Julie, and Andy, during which time Johns became involved in multiple school and community organizations, from sports and band boosters to serving as the town treasurer, and eventually on the school board, where she served for 12 years. And whereas, in 1990, Johns began working at the Enid Aircraft Company, Northwest Aero Services, as a temporary secretary. Over her tenure, she rose through the ranks and was eventually able to purchase the company. As the CEO, Johns used the company to give back to her community through various programs and fundraisers, some of which include Angel Flights, which provide flights for people in need of specialized medical treatment, Christmas flights over Enid to look at lights, Christmas parties for both foster kids and kids with special needs, and many others. Whereas in 1999, Elaine Johns began working on what has since become the most notable accomplishment, the Woodring Wall of Honor. After the devotion of the Vietnam-era F-4 fighter jet, the Wall of Honor was started. The wall was officially dedicated a year later on Memorial Day. Every year, families who've lost loved ones to war are invited to the park and are given a portrait of their loved one, personalized dog tags, proclamations, quilts, and a flag in an oak case built by volunteers from Vance Air Force Base. And whereas Elaine continues to work with Woodring Wall of Honor and is serving her local church and other charities in and around the area. Now therefore, I, George C. Pankin, the Mayor of the City of Enid, do hereby proclaim Elaine Johns' inclusion in the Enid Wall of Fame for 2022. In witness whereof, I have hereunder set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Enid to be affixed the 17th day of September 2022. Signed, George C. Pankin, and Mayor, City of Enid. Okay. If you'd like, I can present this. We'll take a picture, and then you got as much time as you'd like to speak. Or is that?
Well, it all started with a bet between the airport manager and our current mayor, Doug France, about how many people would show up for a dedication. And we had only had a minimal amount of people that were showing up for cemetery services, and we had several, well, I'd say more than 1,000 people that showed up for the dedication. And just to say, to shock Mayor France, I am just going to say thank you on behalf of all the veterans, the board, and the volunteers that make this possible. Thank you.
All right, in closing, I offer my personal congratulations to the family of Joan Allen and Elaine Johns, our 2022 inductees, the newest inductees in the Enid Walk of Fame.